Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well and welcome to my TBR for the Trick-or-Treat-a-thon. The Trick-or-Treat-a-thon is a readathon that's being hosted by Megan and the Books on Instagram and on YouTube, TheBookNookCorner. So I'll have links to their Instagram and YouTube down below. It's a sort of, October spooky sort of readathon with different prompts on a bingo board, according to different books and stuff, and you pick a book that'll do according to that prompt, and once you've read it you can cross it off with the bingo and then you get points depending on how many bingos you get. It's a 25 book board, so I already know I'm not going to be able to read all of these, but I thought it would be fun to try as many as I can, really push myself and see how much I can read this month, and also just kind of use it to make up my TBR kind of going forward for the next couple of months and stuff. So yeah, without any further ado, I'm going to read out the prompts that I have picked, and I picked for my board. I'll put my board up so you can see what it looks like. And yeah, I'll let you know what the prompt is and what book I've gone for. Prompt number 1 is October, and that is read a book that was published in October, and I'm going to be reading Descendants of the First by Rennie K. Amayo. This is the sequel to Daughters of Henri that came out just the other day, and I'm so excited to read this, so yeah, I'm very happy to be able to read this book for the readathon. Number 2 is Change in the Air, read a book with fall colours on the cover, so yellow, red, green, orange or brown. So I'm going for Iron Widow by Jiran J. Zhao. This is a book that I am highly anticipating. It's got a gorgeous cover and, obviously lots of reds and oranges there. Great to have an excuse to read this book. Number 3 is Whispers in the Dark, listen to an audiobook, and for that I'm going to go for Kings of the Wild. This is a book that came onto my sort of radar a few months ago, and I've recently discovered Scribd, however you pronounce that, and so a lot of these I'm actually going to be listening on audiobook, sort of just to try and increase how many books I can read in a month, because I spend a lot of my time drawing and I've usually got music on, and I thought actually if I switch that to audiobooks I'll be able to read more. So yes, I'm going to listen to Kings of the Wild for that one. I'm very excited to read that book. Number 4 is Campfire Stories, read a book under 200 pages, and I've actually already completed this one because I listened to Empress Assaulting Fortune by Nivo. That was a fantastic book. I really enjoyed it. I have got a good review up, so I'll link that down below if you want to see what I kind of thought of this book. But it's a novella. It was a really great read. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, I've already one book down. Number 5 is Fall Plants, read a book with leaves or dead trees on the cover. And I think this counts, but I'm going with Landfall Mountains by Rab Ferguson. Those don't look like particularly living trees on the front, so I think it counts. And this is another one that's just been released. I'm really looking forward to reading, and yeah, very excited for this one too. Number 6 is Harvest Moon, read a book with a moon on the cover or in the title, and for that I'm going with Order of the Pure Moon Reflected in Water by Zen Cho. I actually have just started reading that one just yesterday. I'm doing that one on audiobook as well. It's got a gorgeous cover. I'm very excited to read this one, and I'm already enjoying it quite a lot so far. I'm really enjoying the audiobook format for Zen Cho's writing, because I read Sorcerer to the Crown by that author earlier this year and I really wasn't a fan of their writing, but I feel it really lends itself well to being read aloud, so I'm really enjoying this one so far. Number 7 is Movie Night, read a book that has a movie or TV adaptation and watch it. And I'm going to take this excuse to finally watch the Chaos Walking film, because I haven't done it, despite the fact that I was hyped for years. My hype died because it looked like it wasn't going to be a very good film, so I'm finally going to get around to watching it, and I'll read the book alongside. Number 8 is Witching Hour, read a book with witches or wizards, and I'm going to go for Blood Like Magic. This is a book that came out earlier this year that I really want to read. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I'm very excited to finally get to it. Number 9 is Find Your Familiar, read a book with familiars or animal sidekick, and I'm going to go with Assassin's Quest for that. I've read the first 2 books in the Farseer trilogy. I'm really looking forward to finally finishing that trilogy, being able to continue on into the Realm of the Elderlings. So yeah, just using this prompt as an excuse to finally get to that book. Number 10 is Corn Maze, read a book that has mazes or labyrinths. Now a great book for this would be Piranesi, but I've already read that for a different readathon. So I did some googling, and apparently Shadow of the Wind has labyrinths and stuff in it, so yeah, if I do ever get around to that prompt, that is what I'm going to read for. I've always wanted to read Shadow of the Wind. I have read the author's other book, Prince of the Mist, and that fucking traumatized me, because I read that when I was like 10, because my dad was like, here, you like reading, read this. It's absolutely fucking terrifying. So yeah, but I've heard Shadow of the Wind is very good and I really want to read it, and I hear it has labyrinths or a maze in it, and yeah, so hopefully that should be okay for that prompt. Number 12, Costume Party, read a cover by book. So one that you bought just for the cover, and for that one, oops, For that one, I'm going with The Lost Apothecary. This is a really pretty cover that I definitely just drew my interest because of the colour and the cover and the colours. And yeah, definitely looking forward to reading this one. 13, Trick. Read a book with 500 plus pages. And for that, I'm going with a book called Threadneedle. I just kind of started looking through all my my TBR stuff on Goodreads and picking out books that were good for the prompts, and this is one I've had sitting on my TBR for a while, so it's an excuse to read it. Number 14 is Treat. Reread a favourite and enjoy a favourite fall treat. And for that, I am actually in the middle of rereading Daughters of Enri, because as I said, I'm going to read Descendants of the First, and I also want to do a spoiler-free review for this now that I've started Bookshoe. So yeah, I'm rereading this at the moment, and as for my fall treat, I'm thinking pumpkin spice latte, or I might be making a sort of bonfire type cupcake type things. I'll let you know. But yeah, I'll definitely find something to enjoy alongside reading this. Number 8, we're going to skip up to number 18. Struck with Fear, read a book in the same spot. If a longer book, you just kind of keep coming back to that spot to read the book. And for that, I'm going to go with Drawing of the Three by Stephen King. I'm currently behind on the read-along that Steve Talks Books and Stuff is doing. I read The Gunslinger, and then I found the entire series on eBay for like £15, and I was like, brilliant, I'll buy that. They have yet to turn up, despite the fact that I ordered them over a month ago, so I think they've gotten lost in the post, so yeah, I didn't manage to read Drawing of the Three last month because I was waiting on that to turn up and then it never did, and then I also need to try and read The Wastelands as well in time for the live show at the end of this month. So yeah, I just needed an excuse to read Drawing of the Three, and that's it. Number 19, Blood. Read a book with blood on the cover or in the title, or read a book with vampires. And for that one, I'm going for It's Got Blood in the Title, and that is Bloodsong by Anthony Ryan. This is a book that I actually bought off of Dominish Books. He was on hauling this book and the second book in the series, and yeah, I just thought they sounded interesting, and then all of a sudden, like in the last month, I've been hearing so many rave reviews about this book by all loads of other booktubers and stuff, so I'm very glad that I did get these off of Dom, and I'm very, very excited to get to this one. It's a chunky book though, so this might not be one that I managed to read during the Readathon month, but I will definitely be getting to it. Number 22 is Trick-or-Treaters. Read a graphic novel, comic or manga. Now I haven't actually got a book for this one yet. I'm going into town tomorrow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Waterstones and I'm going to like pick out a graphic novel or something there. So yeah, that one has yet to be decided, but I'm going to try and find something that I think I'll find interesting. 26, Let's Do the Time Warp. Read a book with time travelling or set in the past or future. And for that I'm going with The Downstairs Girl. This is another one that was just on my TBR and I thought it fits this prompt, so I will add it there and I'll finally be able to get to it. Number 27 is Graveyard. Read a book with skulls or bones on the cover, and for that I'm going with Gideon the Ninth. This is another one I've heard loads of people talking about and really recommending it and stuff, so yeah, just as I said, using this as an excuse to finally get to that book, so I'm going to acquire a copy somewhere and read it. Number 28 is Dusk. Read something dark or with night in the title, and for that I'm going with Keeper of Night. Again, this was one that I just sort of had on my TBR. I was looking through titles and stuff and I thought, that's got the word night in it, let's go. So yeah, interested to know find out what that one's going to be about. Number 29, Squirrel Cash. Read one of the oldest books on your TBR, and for that I'm going with You Should See Me in a Crime. This is one that came out like last year, year before or something, and I've been meaning to read it, and I just haven't, and I just need to get to it. It is available on Scribd and stuff, so I think I'm definitely going to be listening to it on the audiobook, so very excited to finally be getting to You Should See Me in a Crime. Number 30, Sugar Skull. Read a middle grade book, and for that I'm going with Nevermore. This is a book that I've seen Elsa over the French Book Dreamer, and I believe Lawrence at Reading with Lawrence has also been reading this book series, and they've both been like raving about it and stuff, so yeah, hearing nothing but good things about it. I'm looking for a new bit middle grade to get into, so that's what I'm going to go with. Number 31, Your First Halloween. Read something that was published the year you were born. So I was born in the year 2000, which made it very difficult to Google books published in the year 2000 because you just get lists of things that were done in the 2000s, and I'm like, no, 2000, the year. So yeah, I had a bit of a look around, but there's a book called The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay, and I just thought that sounded fun, it sounded interesting, and that was published in 2000, so I'm going to read that one for that prompt. Number 32 is Slumber Party. A friend picks a book. So I messaged my friend with, I kind of cheated a little bit. I sort of gave her some books that I had on my shelf and I went, right, pick one of these, and she went for Son of the Storm. So yeah, very excited to get to this book. This is one that I think came out earlier this year that I've just been hearing it sort of came up onto my radar. I can't even remember where, but I'm very excited to read this, and I'm happy that I've got an excuse to do so. And then last but not least, number 33, Mystery Candy, message your team captain or host for a random prompt or book. So the prompt I got given by my captain was read a book with a one-word title, and for that I'm going with Weavers by John Walker. If you don't know, John Walker has the channel Walker's Write 7, and that's kind of where I discovered about his book. It sounds totally up my alley, and especially sort of seeing what books he's really into. I think we read quite similar books and have similar tastes, so the fact that he's written this book and is happy with it is basically a definite, that means I'll probably enjoy it. So I'm very excited to finally have an excuse to read Weavers. I'm meaning to get to it, but you know, the endless TBR. So yeah, those are all the books that I am reading for this readathon. I'm in Team Magic, by the way. I kind of forgot to say that right at the beginning. So yeah, I'm hoping to take part in a reading sprint later tonight, so I'll hopefully get some prompts, but I'm definitely going to be focusing on trying to get at least 1 or 2 bingos. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing this. It's such good fun to be able to read with loads of other people, and yeah, just looking forward to it. But yeah, have you read any of the books that I'm going to be reading over the next couple of months? Definitely let me know down in the comments. Have you read them? Are they any good? Have you got any of these on your TBR? Are you looking forward to reading them? If you want to buddy read any of these, let me know, and I'll let you know when I'm planning to read it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.